In this lesson, we're going to talk about buying tongs and making tongs, and where your time is probably better spent if you're just starting out. So let's talk about the DIY version of this first, and I'll show you some tongs that I made over the years. One pair in particular, I'm going to have you walk with me so we don't break eye contact, right? Step over here. I'm going to pick up the rebar tongs. Sorry about the bright lights there for a second. And get it set up again over here. So come back down. So rebar tongs, these are handmade out of 2 pieces of rebar, so kind of a fun project. Get you adjusted there. So downside of it, if you're going to make your own, and it's a good skill to know how to do, right, is the time it takes to make them versus just getting into forging whatever the project is. If the first thing you want to forge and get into is tongs, this is perfect. So you're going to take your 2 pieces of rebar or whatever you're going to use for your tong blanks, and you're going to do a series of different hits, right, and create different shoulders. Let's see if you can see that. So you're going to make a shoulder here, flip it, make a shoulder here, and then flip it one more time and make a shoulder back here. The trickiest part of this thing for me when I was making these is that I didn't realize that I'm just making the same piece twice, okay, and then flipping them over. I kept thinking I needed to make a mirror image of one side and then clip them together. It's not the way it works. So just two sides, same, flip one over and rivet it together. So DIY version, and I'm also happy to demonstrate that. If you want to send me a note at diyblacksmith.com or diyblacksmith@gmail.com, let me know. I can demonstrate some tong making. That might be kind of an additional lesson farther on. So the hours that you'll spend making tongs versus buying a pair of tongs for say 35 bucks, something like that, and just getting started on whatever the project is that you want to make. So say you want to make knives and you want something that, a pair of tongs that will hold that nice and secure while you're working. Is it more valuable to make the tongs to hold that thing or to spend $45? So depending on your hourly rate at work, some number of hours that you need to work to be able to buy that pair of tongs to get into your hobby faster. So this is just the way I think about stuff. It's okay if you disagree with that. I understand, but I like to think of things in terms of what is my time worth, and I always put an hourly rate on my time to figure out if it's worthwhile for me to do. Okay, so I would tend to buy that tool so I can make the other tools. So I would tend to buy that tool so I can get into making the other more fun stuff that I want to make. Okay, that's just my philosophy about buying tongs. The places you'll go to pick up tongs, again, you have places like PIA Tool Company, PIEHTOOLCO.com, Blacksmiths Depot, like a train depot.com, Blacksmith Supply, and Centaur Forge. Okay, those are the 4 main ones I would do. They all have different types of tongs out there. Just think about the type of project that you are more likely to start off with and use that to gauge what size and shape of tong you're going to buy. All right.